Hey, how you doing? It's Charlie. We're taking a look at the dreaded F chord today, which is much the bane of a beginner guitarist life. Because of the nature of the chord, it is a little tricky. It introduces what's essentially a two-string bar, which is tough because we're adding extra pressure. Essentially, we're having to double up really in terms of strength, which does make things difficult. However, it does introduce the idea of barring across strings, which is very exciting because it means that with a bit of practice, a bit of persistence, you're going to be able to take that bar and move it all up the neck and all kinds of things, and it opens up the possibility for loads of different chords and stuff like that. So it is a really relevant and important thing to do, although it's possibly, if you're a beginner and you've been used to opening chords, it is driving you a little bit mad. And everybody who learns a song with F in it goes, always looks at the F chord and dreads it because, it's a real pain to get to. So this is definitely for you if you've got kind of a good grasp of your open chords. You're making nice clear sounds with things like the G and the D, and you're not getting any buzzes and anything like that. It's definitely time to start thinking about moving on to the F chord, and I'm going to take you through a few ways, show you a few ways to do it. All right, so we'll start with the basic F chord position. So we're going to bar across the first two strings with our first finger, all right? And when I say bar, it means that you're using this part of your finger, the fingerprint, to press across the two strings, all right? Now, just try that in isolation. Remember that thumb is on the back of the neck. It's not up here because you're not going to get the pressure. And you're essentially squeezing together, all right? So, like that. Should sound like that, those two strings together, not... And it might sound like that to start with, all right? But try and get a nice flat profile to your finger, a bit more like that, sorry. Okay, now you're going to introduce middle finger goes on second fret of the third string. Okay, and again you've got that thumb on the back of the neck, you're keeping the pressure down. Then your third finger jumps on the third fret of the fourth string. Okay, and that is the basic F chord. That is an F major chord. Right? Okay, so those two are crossed like that. Middle finger second fret, third finger third fret. With my right hand, I strummed 4 strings. Okay, and that is the chord. All right. Now we can elaborate on that a little bit. A cheap way to get through it to start with, if you're really desperate and you're really struggling, is to actually play an F major 7. Okay. Now that involves playing first finger on the second string of the first fret, middle finger on the third string of the third fret, and your third finger on the third fret of the fourth string. Right, and you let that first high E string just ring. Okay, and that actually gives you an F major 7. I'm playing 4 strings downwards there, alright? So that, you can get away with that a lot of times because the F major 7 will work in a lot of instances. A lot of instances it won't, so you won't get away with it. But it's worth a try just to, at least if you're absolutely desperate and it's driving you mad, just try the F major 7. In a lot of kind of songs that are based in A minor, things like that, where the F appears, you'll get away with it. But when we start moving into blues and other songs, you don't really want to run that risk because it could sound a bit bad, a bit atrocious. All right, so those are the two ways. Now, on from that, you're looking at the bar chord. All right, now this is a full bar chord, and the problem is this is a difficult bar chord. The bar chord involves using your first finger essentially as a capo. All right, which means you're essentially playing all the strings, which is quite hard. Okay, so for me to play all those strings so that they're dead, now that takes quite a lot of pressure, as you can probably imagine. So I'll take you through the bar chord, just show you how it works. So I'm going to place my first finger across that first fret, all the way across. I'm not using any particular part of my finger to press on the strings. I'm just using the collective strength of my finger to press down like that. My thumb remains on the back of my neck. Now here, ideally you would try and sync your thumb up with where your middle finger is, okay? So that you get a nice spread of pressure and strength, okay? Your middle finger is going to pop on that second fret, third string. Your third finger jumps on the third fret, fifth string, and your little finger jumps underneath on the third fret, fourth string. You're going to play all 6 strings like that. That is an F chord. Okay, so that is a full F chord. I'm going to do that again. Bar across the first fret, middle finger jumps in second fret, third string. Your third finger jumps third fret, fifth string, and your little finger jumps underneath that on the fourth string. Okay, that is what it looks like. Okay, it is a bit of a pain. I must admit, to play it first. Now, one thing you can try if you're feeling really strung out and you've had enough, try it up higher up the neck. I suggest for argument's sake, let's do it at number 7, all right? Because number 7 is nice and high up, so we can get to number 7. And the frets obviously are a little bit closer together, so it makes things a little bit easier. Whilst we're picking bar chords, picking F is just about the most difficult one because it's so far down the neck. The frets are that little bit further apart, fractionally obviously, but it does make a bit of a difference. Number 7, you're going to bar the whole of number 7, all right? Just try this out. Middle finger's going to jump in 8th fret 3rd string. Your little finger's on 9th fret 5th string, and your 3rd finger's on 9th fret 5th string, and your little finger jumps underneath that. That's actually a B, okay? It's a B major. Now that is a bit easier to play. So try that first, and just do it in stages. See if you can bar kind of 3 strings, then 4, then 5, then all 6, then put the rest on. Little things like that really, really help, and they really make a difference when you're trying to kind of grasp something difficult. The F chord is a pain, guys. I can't really do much more than that with it. You can use a capo for so long, and that's great, but at least just get the F major 7, okay? Because then you can. It's kind of a cheat way through that you can just about get away with it, and you know you'll be all right. So try the F major 7, then try the one with the bar on the top 2 strings. Then if you're feeling adventurous, try the F. And then if you're really struggling with that, you can always try it just further. It doesn't matter what fret. It's more from a physical point of view rather than anything else, rather than worrying about exactly what you're playing. It's a physical thing. It's getting the fingers strong enough to do what they need to do. Cool. All right, guys, try and grab hold of that. I know it's a tricky one, but honestly, it opens so many doors later on for whatever you might want to do with guitar, particularly bar chords and stuff like that. So I hope it's been useful, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.